Hey, what's up, everybody? Cameron Drummond here, along with Jake Tomer and Andrew Hussey for the Indiana Daily Student, coming to you from inside a windy and chilly Memorial Stadium. IU defeats Rutgers 41-0 today. The second shutout of the season for the Hoosiers puts them at 5-6 on the year, 2-6 in conference play. Still on path for a bowl berth if they can take down Purdue next week. But guys, it was a dominating defensive performance today from the Hoosiers.
Yeah, dominating on both sides of the ball, really, because late in the game in the second half, there IU was so obviously running the ball on every single play, and they were still able to get production. Scored a late touchdown in the fourth with the ground game, and really so you saw two freshman running backs lead the way on offense, and a whole host of seniors lead the way on defense.
Yeah, it was pretty much a perfect performance from IU. Their first really perfect performance where all three units are working as one. There's no issues from the special teams. The offense was efficient. They scored on all 6 times they got into the red zone, which had been an issue earlier this season. In their defense, they had strung together so many 3-and-outs in a row, and really this was one of the best combined back-to-back defensive performances of the season. They only allowed 2 touchdowns, and they both came last week, and one was on that 77-yard bomb.
You're talking about all 3 units working together. Even special teams was a big factor for the Hoosiers today. They pick up a turnover less than 4 minutes into the game. Rutgers muffs a punt at their own 6-yard line. Senior cornerback Rashard Fan, kind of Johnny on the spot, picks up the football. And then the next play after that, you have one of those freshman running backs. You're talking about Morgan Ellison taking it in from 6 yards out.
Yeah, and really, when you talk about between Morgan Ellison and Cole Guest, the 2 freshman running backs, Ellison had about 150 yards. Cole Guest just kind of barely got over 100, but they would split drives in half, and Guest would come out and get 30 or 40 yards, and then Ellison would go 20 or 30 to finish it off, or vice versa. But you have that power back with Ellison, kind of a speedier guy in Guest, and really Richard Lego managed the game well, but it was all the ground attack that really put things away.
Yeah, I really do.
I would say, Hussey, we had another good performance from a senior today in Richard Lego, hooking up with Ian Thomas as well on senior day for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, Lego went 17-20, a really efficient performance. He wasn't asked to do as much as he usually is, but he went for 236 yards through the air, and really was just the last few weeks since he's got this opportunity to come back as starting quarterback. He's been very good for the Hoosiers and exactly what they needed since Peyton Ramsey went down with that injury. And I think moving forward, going at Purdue, Richard Lego's shown enough that I think he can go on the road and get IU to bowl eligibility.
Yeah, I think 8 passing touchdowns for Richard Lego now since coming in. I believe it was, the 3rd quarter of that Maryland game.
Yeah, when Peyton Ramsey goes out.
Yeah, and now 3 straight starts for him and a 2-1 record in those games. And, when you're making a push like this at the end of the season to have to win 3 Big Ten games in a row to make a bowl game, you kind of want to be able to rely on your seniors. And Richard Lego has shown tremendous leadership, definitely in these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we talked about the historical aspect of it. IU hadn't won 3 straight Big Ten games to end a regular season in 71 years. They'll have the chance to do that next week. It would also mean, a 5th straight victory
5th straight bowl,
in the old open bucket game against Purdue.
And a 3rd straight bowl appearance is on the line.
Yeah.
So a lot of historical firsts. What was today?
Today was the second shutout of the season and the most shutouts in the season for IU since 1993. It was also the largest margin of victory for IU in a Big Ten game since 1993 and the largest margin of victory in a Big Ten shutout since 1990.
Yeah, so, those kind of things are just...
And it all came on a day where IU honored the 50th anniversary of that 1967 Rose Bowl team. So there wasn't a tremendous amount of fans at Memorial Stadium today, but there was a lot of history around the stadium.
A lot of history, and those kinds of things are just confidence builders when you can point to things like that and say, we just got our first shutout, in X amount of years, or biggest margin of victory or whatever. But as you go into this bucket game now, and it looks like Purdue's about to be 5-6 themselves. It's on the TV right here.
Yeah, Purdue looks like they're about to upset Iowa, and that would be 2 teams going into West Lafayette next Saturday afternoon with 5-6 records. And first time in kind of God knows how long where it's a winner-take-all matchup between IU and Purdue, where the winner gets to go to a bowl game and the loser is probably on the outside looking in.
Yeah, emotions will certainly be high in that game, and it should be a good battle between 2 defenses that are really good, but IU offense might have an edge, but we'll see on that one. We will all 3 be in West Lafayette next weekend to bring you some more coverage for the IDS. Keep it locked on idsnews.com tonight as we post our post-game coverage from here, and on IDS Sports throughout the week leading up to Purdue, and then next Saturday we will be in West Lafayette.
Follow us for all the content, and just want to wish a happy senior day to Jake and Hussey. Last home games at Memorial Stadium.
Just the Dippin' Dots.
There's no Dippin' Dots, but I was going to ask any lasting memories from your time covering IU football. I know Hussey's been doing this for about 3 years, maybe 3 years too long.
2 years.
2
right?
years? 3 years.
I did it freshman year, too.
Oh, 3 years.
So 3 years for Hussey. Jake's only year in the beat, but
Yeah.
it's kind of, what are you guys' memories from Memorial Stadium? The
Long
last time
days. Long days. This is
longest.
we're coming up on about an 8-hour day here so far.
We haven't even mentioned this. There was a 2-hour lightning delay today.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but
so that happened.
That was kind of, I guess, what inspired IU to come out and just really push the ground game. It seemed like the game was over when the lightning delay ended, or before, I guess. But I don't know. Lasting memories from Memorial Stadium, just long days. That's it for me.
Long days and sparse crowds.
Yeah.
A lot of Papa John's too.
Yep, but end on a winning note. So some positivity, I guess. But we will be in West Lafayette next weekend. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.